So dive back into it for a second. So a community bank is a local owned bank typically, right? With its own shareholders, usually the community around it, and you specialize in whatever the bank knows.
Yes. Yes,
Right.
that's correct. And so and you hire lenders and personnel that understand that market too. I mean, you're going to hire those kind of people that can you want to build people around you that know the same kind of stuff that you know. That way, you're stronger than just yourself.
So I know a lot of this because over the last week, I've had to do a ridiculous amount of research when that California bank defaulted, right? So the way they defaulted, that's pretty public right now, is they bought long-term treasuries. They had $187 billion in deposits. They went from 86 billion to 187 billion, which is crazy. Some over $100 billion in deposits within 1 year. And so let's speak on that first. Like, deposits matter with y'all. Like, nobody understands, like, the deposits to the banks actually increase your lending limits, right?
Yes.
Can you kind of explain how that works?
Well, and that's not something that I deal with every day, but yes, you're exactly right. So, because what a bank does is they get deposits and they loan them back out. I mean, that's how we make our money. We pay somebody for their deposits, and then we turn around and we're basically going to mark it up based on risk, and we're going to loan it back out to people depending on what the loan request is. So, yeah.
So let's put this in a real world example. So a business comes in, makes a deposit of $1 million, and they average withdrawal $300,000, $500,000 on a monthly basis, but they have that spread that's in there that they usually don't dip down to, right? And you're able to strategically lend off of some of those deposits, but you also lend off of the Federal Reserve, right?
You do get Fed funds, yeah. If you need to bridge a gap, or if you don't have the deposits available, then yeah, you're going to buy Fed funds. And again, that's not 100% my department to really speak real knowledgeably on, but that's in a sense the way that deal works. And so yeah, they'll keep an average monthly balance in that account, and so you kind of know after several months how much they're going to keep in that account, and that kind of tells our guys how much.
Y'all can lend off of that.
Well, yeah, and if it's a transaction account, those are harder to gauge. Now, whenever you get CDs is one. Yeah, I mean, that's obviously kind of a core deposit there that is going to be there for a certain period of time, and those kind of things. And so it's easier for us to gauge that. But we always have funds available through Fed funds and things like that if we see that there's a shortfall. Now, we haven't had that issue at the bank that I'm with. So.
Yeah, there's no issue at your bank. In fact, my biggest complaint with your bank is too conservative. But that's a good thing, and that's
Sure.
where you want to be with great banks that are conservative, because they have their shareholders, they have their people in mind. There's not going to be a run on the bank that we just saw in California.
Yeah,
right?
well, we sure hope not, and that's something that I agree with you. We try to do things right every day, and so when we do that, we may come off as being conservative, but you know what? At the end of the day, we're typically a shining star, and so that's something that I've always wanted to be part of, and so I'm thankful that I've been there.
Yeah, you've been there a long time, man. That's it's good. It's I love how I've seen your branch grow, and what you've done has been awesome. But so if you're lending out, and so the bank makes money on the spreads of whatever they're borrowing from the Fed and borrowing from their actual consumers to lend to a loan. And they mark that up, and the spread difference is how the bank makes money, but it's also how they provide expansion in our economy to be able to grow locally.
Sure.
Right.
And we have expenses too, obviously. That
Of
we
course,
take
you
out
got
of
your
that.
payroll, you got the building's payroll. I mean, right.
And
So
you have that plus
overhead.
plus what you want to profit or try to profit, and so that's one of those things that you look at. So as you're taking in deposits and you're quoting rates on those, you got to know that you got to turn around and loan that back out at a certain percentage too to make the things work on our end. I mean, we're running a business too, just like other people.
Yeah, I think a lot of consumers don't understand that. So let's